Welcome to my channel, Life Skills One-on-One. For our first dish, it's going to be an egg salad. I'm going to teach you how to make an egg salad, and you can use it. You can use it as far as a sandwich, or a sandwich with chips, or a sandwich with soup, whatever it may be. But right now, I'm going to show you as far as the ingredients that I use in order to actually make this dish. So for our first ingredient, we have salt, kosher salt, which makes things taste better if it's really plain, and that's the type that I use. And then our second one, we have pepper, something to spice things up with. This is just a recommendation, so you don't actually have to use salt and pepper, okay? And then we got mustard. I know everyone doesn't like mustard, but I have to use mustard, and you really want to use mustard in this type of dish in order for it to actually taste good and yummy, okay? And that is the type that I use if you ever want to buy it from your store or Publix or whatever. And then we got relish right here, obviously, and that makes things taste sweet. It makes it taste better. Obviously, the less relish, the more salty it is, so just be aware of that when you're actually making the dish, right? And then this is the type of eggs that I buy, is Eggs Land's Best, vitamin D, vitamin E, B1, B1, B5, as you can see. And then we got our pot over here, looking. And don't mind as far as what you see right there. The pot is not dirty. It's not dirty. It's just very old. And then we get our pot and make sure we put our pot in the actual sink. Remember, use an actual regular old pot, not a boiling pot, just a regular old pot. Okay, so you make sure you run some, water, cold water, hot water. I just run cold water because it just makes sense to me, right? That's the yum money stuff. And so anyways, you run that water, about halfway. Now remember, don't go above halfway, because when the water starts boiling, it might overflow and you're gonna have a lot of accidents, and it's just gonna be too much. So make sure that you run water as far as at least halfway, okay? And then that's it for that. And then what we're about to do is that we are going to move our pot on the stove, and right here we make sure that the handle is inside, which is pointing towards the wall, because if you have it out in the aisle, you can knock it over. And over here is my eggs. Make sure your eggs are closer to the stove. Obviously be careful of it so you won't break the eggs, obviously. And then for me, I use 3 eggs and I put in the water gently. Now see how I put it in there gently, and I'm not just crushing it like Wreck-It Ralph. I put it right in there real quick. I use 3 eggs, just so you know, for one person, 3 eggs is just enough, okay? And a little bit of leftovers, if you know what I mean. And so that's what we do, and then we close our actual carton, Obviously safety first, regular stuff that you would do at home. And guess what? You may not know, so now I am teaching you. And then for me, I have a gas stove. So basically for me, I have to always be careful. I turn on, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clicks, and then boom. 1, 2, 3, boom. And then it should work just like that. Turn it on. And then what we do is that we let it boil. And in 15 minutes, it should start boiling. Then when you see your water boiling after 15-20 minutes, that's how you know you did it right? And so now, always remember, safety first. When you are about to move any type of pot, you immediately turn the stove off, especially with the gas stove, right? And so now what we're about to do is put it right in the sink. And then you run cold water over your eggs in the sink for about 1 minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You basically get it. So you count to about 60 seconds, right? And you let cold water run over it. So when you peel the eggs, it can be done correctly, and you will barely have any issues. And then after that, you make sure you pour all your water out, and make sure that all of your eggs are actually in a bowl with water, or in the same pot. It doesn't really matter. But for me, or for anyone, if you want to make sure that your eggs are peeled correctly, make sure you use some water so it's easier. So right here, as you can see, I'm peeling off the shell, off the egg. And right here, see, right there, I sucked right there. So everyone's gonna probably suck at peeling eggs, whatever, you might be good at it. The last time I cooked this or whatever, I was actually pretty good at it. But this time, I don't know what was wrong with my fingers. Maybe they were stuck or jammed or whatever. But I'm just right here, I'm just taking the shell off the egg. And sometimes it could be a very therapeutic process. It could be a stressful process, or it can be a very simple task for you. Everyone is built different. So, don't take this sideways, if it takes you a long time to peel eggs. And guess what? If it takes you a short amount of time to actually peel eggs or whatever, then that's fine. That's good with me, as long as it's done correctly. See, right there is better actually, But what I like to do later on is I like to rinse it off real quick or whatever to make sure all the shells are actually off of the egg. But that's it right there, as you can see, and it's good. It's a little messy process, but you just make sure that you are being careful, you're being safe, and then you wipe your hands when you're done, and that's it. And then when I'm done with my eggs, as far as the ones that are done being peeled off, then I put it in the other bowl that I have. And you can use a countertop, you can use something that's like a metal edge or whatever, and you can start cracking it, and then that's it, very lightly. Eggs are fragile at this point, so it should be very simple when it comes off. If it's not, then that means you need to let your eggs boil for a little bit more longer, and that's it, and then you just keep on doing that, keep on doing it, keep on pushing through, and then that's it. And then you obviously you want to make sure that all of the eggshells are off of the egg, because you don't want to bite into something soft and then it's something hard, and then your teeth feels like it's just gonna come off. So you want to make sure you do that, and then there you go. And if you follow these instructions, follow these directions, 9 times out of 10, it should be very easy for you as far as making this dish. You should not have any issues, actually. It should be perfectly fine. And then what I like to do towards the end is that I like to take all the eggshells and either put it in the sink, or I either put it in the trash can, because there's nothing worse than you stepping on eggshells later on and you stepped on it because you left it on the ground. And then here comes the fun part. So as you can see, I got my 3 eggs in one bowl. I got my spoon. I got all of my ingredients that I'm going to use. I got my Miracle Whip that I'm about to use. Mayonnaise. And that's part of the ingredient that I forgot in the beginning. Sorry, y'all. But you get that, we put at least one, or about, I put at least like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, a good, 2 to 3 scoops, and that's it, and whatever, it's basically whatever you want, really. Now for myself, I just use 2 to 3 scoops, and that's just enough for me, and it's just a spread, so something to put on your bread or your sandwich or whatever, or make it a salad or whatever, but for me, it's gonna be a little bit different today. So you kind of chop it up and down, use a spoon or whatever, and you just keep on doing that until you get like a mushy consistency. And then you got your salt right here, you got your kosher, you just put a little bit of salt in there, just a little bit of flavor, that's it, and then you add the little pepper in there. How exciting is that? Spice things up a little bit, right? And this is only if you want to, but you definitely need the rest of the ingredients besides salt and pepper. And then you got mustard right here. I know some of y'all probably like, oh my gosh, mustard's disgusting. Well, you're gonna try it today. And then we got that, and then what you do, and then you just obviously put mustard inside the actual bowl. And then the mustard, you kind of want to put just a tad bit more, just a little bit more than the actual salt and pepper. And then that's it, okay? And then you close your top up, put it to the side, just like everything else. Make sure you're being clean with it. And then you use the relish. This is something that you definitely want if you want it to be sweeter, not like candy, but just you want it to just make sure that if you want it to just taste just a tad bit sweeter, then just use a little bit of relish. And as you can see, I'm only squeezing just a little bit, around. And then that's it. That's all it literally takes. Then you close that up, and then you make sure that you get your spoon, and then you make sure that you just chop it up and down, and it should look like a mushy, almost like mashed potatoes in a sense. And also, by the way, I know it looks disgusting as far as the mustard and all the ingredients, but I promise you, it's gonna taste really good and yummy. And here's another point of view as far as how I'm mixing all my ingredients around, and you just keep on, like, it's almost like you're whisking some eggs, but you're like chopping it down with like a knife or whatever, and you just keep on going, you just dicing them up. It's very simple. A 2-year-old can do this. So if a 2-year-old can do this, then you can too. So then you put your bowl to the side. Now, usually most people, they try to get brioche bread. Brioche bread tastes really good, but this time I ran out, so I gotta use this honey wheat. And it doesn't matter which type of honey wheat bread, as long as it's bread, right? Not crackers, right? So you get 2 loaves of bread, and then you bring yourself right over to the toaster. You put your little 2 loaves of bread in there. You put both of those breads in there, and then make sure you put it on low level, and then you push it down on low level so it won't burn, right? And that's it. And then when you're done with the toasted piece of bread, then you make sure you put your dip right on top of the bread. That's what you do. Okay? You put the dip, which is your spread on top of your bread. Now this time I'm gonna not make a sandwich. It's just gonna be like a spread, like jelly or peanut butter on top of a piece of bread. So as you can see, I'm pouring all of it on there. And today I was hungry, so I just poured a whole bunch on there and I just spread it around. Spread it around, that's all you do. It's like one of those, struggle meals, but in a good way because it tastes real good and yummy. But anyways, y'all, we're at the end of the video, so make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, and tell me what you think of the video.